it's a great pleasure to be here and to see such a great turnout today and to be in the company of so many very knowledgeable people. I've seen people who are experts on so many different areas, which of course we're dealing with so many fronts at the moment. So what I wanted to talk to you today about was how to love your liver to stay healthy. So I have two agendas really. One is to protect the NHS properly for a change, but in the same time, by empowering people about their health, what I'm doing is as an act of defiance, because I think there are a rather lot of people in powerful places who would rather none of us were here anymore. So this is a way we can be defiant, to be really, really healthy and protect the NHS at the same time. What a great win-win. So I'm talking to you today about looking after your liver, loving your liver to stay healthy. Now, I've got a handout that I can put around the group, which if you photograph it, because I couldn't bring enough, I didn't know how many to print. So I've got a few copies and I'll distribute them at the end so you can take photographs of the notes, so you've got an aid memoir onto your phones. But I don't need to tell people avoid processed food. The chemicals they only put in it nowadays. Should I use a megaphone? Can you hear me now? Am I too far from the microphone? Is that better? Okay, I'll be closer. Right, so your gut microbiome, the gut microbiome, that literally that zoo that you've got in your gut, those bacteria in there are our friends, and the wider range of vegetables that you eat. If you're eating the same vegetables every single day, every single week, there's, I don't know, half a dozen of your favorite vegetables. You're not going to get the diversity. You're not going to get the interesting range of bacteria that we need to help us with some of the neurotransmitters and some of the immune substances that those bacteria can create if we have diversity. So eat a wide range. Ask your neighbor who comes from another country, what vegetables do they prepare? Add in the obscure, weird ones. Get an organic box delivered with vegetables you've never seen before. That's going to diversify your range, and it will keep you healthier, and it will boost your immune system. So that's a really good thing to do. I don't know if you realize that mushrooms, if you leave them on a Sunday windowsill, they will actually manufacture vitamin D for you. So that's another great thing you can do. Get your mushrooms into your diet. They're really, really beneficial. And there's lots of beneficial substances that boost immunity, that charge up those T killer cells, which are your first line defense. One of my daughters used to live in Indonesia, and she used to catch, or she developed some sort of nasty bug on the way home every time she came home for Christmas. And I got her taking capsules of reishi, shiitake, maitake mushrooms, which are available from good health food shops. And once she and her husband started taking those, they would come home absolutely fine. So it really does charge up your immune system. And I've got a great, a story there. Clean your liver. Another thing you can do is, a lot of people love fruit juice, particularly fresh orange juice for breakfast. That is a very big fructose hit. And if you have too much fructose in a meal, fruit sugar, it's wonderful in an orange, but you wouldn't eat half a dozen oranges for breakfast. You'd have one or maybe two at the most. But yet, if you have orange juice, you've got half a dozen in that glass of juice. And a lot of the goodness in an orange, which is the white stuff on, that white fluffy stuff on the inside, that is quercetin, which is a wonderful immune booster. You're throwing that in the bin. You don't even get that in your juice. So think about having whole fruit rather than the juices, which are very high in sugar. And if you have too much sugar in one meal, the way that your liver stores them, it conjugates three of them together, three sugars together, becomes a triglyceride. And that then is a form of fat that ends up stored in your liver. And that then becomes non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Your liver can't do its job properly to clear out all the rubbish from, the rubbish that's landing on us from wherever. We want our livers to be operating at absolutely tip-top performance. And fruit juice, occasional fruit juice, no problem, but don't be drinking it all the time as your drink, because that's not going to be beneficial. That's going to clog up your liver. Investigate liver cleanses. People who have gallstones, they've got gallstones, but many of us have got like sand, which would have been gallstones if they were big blobs of this stuff. It would be gallstones, but it could be sand, and it's clogging up and slowing down your liver function, but it's not actually causing you any obvious problem, but your liver's not functioning as fast as it could be. The secret to that is a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in your glass of water before you eat. That will help you digest your food, and also it helps dissolve the malic acid in the apple juice, and you've had the sugar taken out of that apple juice. The sugar has been turned into vinegar. So apple cider vinegar is apple juice with all the goodies without the baddies. So it's a wonderful way of getting the malic acid, which will dissolve the stones and keep your liver functioning and ticking over really well. So that's another good thing. Avoid constipation. If you're constipated, I'm sorry to, we did hear about chitty witty, so I don't feel I'm changing the subject here, but we don't want to get constipated, because if you've got toxic stuff in your bowel, you reabsorb it, and then it gets another chance to cause you trouble. So make sure things are moving through. Whole apples with all the fiber are much better than apple juice. Whole oranges with all the fiber, much better than orange juice. And crunchy vegetables will help you keep your teeth well into your 70s and 80s, because you're strengthening your jaw when you chew on crunchy vegetables. So I just had some raw cauliflower in my lunch. It's a great way to get your jawbone solid and your teeth really well fixed in your jaw, and keep your teeth as long as you can. But also that fiber is great for your gut, and you've got good healthy stuff coming through, and you're not going to get constipated. You're less likely to get hemorrhoids and other things that you don't want. Another great tip is hemp seed. And I'm not talking about growing things from hemp seed, although that's also something that many of us like to do. But hemp seed is a wonderful way to increase a particular binding globulin that clears hormones, unwanted hormones out of our bodies. So get your hemp seed or your cold-pressed hemp seed oil into your diet so that you can clear hormones out and allow your liver to do its job properly. So you're helping your liver. And hemp seed is a wonderful omega-3 source. It's good for everything. So get those hemp seeds into your diet. So they call them hemp hearts sometimes, some health food shops. They tend to bump the price up if they call them hemp hearts, because, it sounds more touchy-feely than hemp seeds. But anyway, there you go. Avoid your skincare. Have a look at the ingredients in your skincare. Some of these things, the methyl and propylparabens, the preservatives used in skincare, are estrogen mimics, and they clog up your liver, and they also can interfere with your hormone function. So avoid those. All the hand sanitizer people were using during the pandemic, the triclosan and some of these other antiseptics, are really bad for hormone function. So keep those out of your life. Colloidal silver is a great hand sanitizer. That's what I use. I carry a little spray around in my bag to use for that. And that's a great way to sanitize your hands if you don't have a chance to wash them regularly and keep them clean. Drink, it's synthetic deodorants is another thing we don't want. It clogs up the pores in your armpits, and it causes all kinds of problems. It can cause cysts and lumps and bumps. Avoid that. A great inexpensive deodorant, which I make myself, is I take aloe vera gel, mix it with colloidal silver, and that makes a great deodorant. So there are natural alternatives. Drink plenty of water. I don't need to tell you, you know that. Make sure your water's filtered. The water coming out the tap has got all kinds of nasties. It's your next door neighbour's HRT. It's got the other next door neighbour's Prozac. It's got, whatever. God knows what else is in there. So make sure you're filtering your drinking water, ideally with either a Berkey or a reverse osmosis system, but make sure you filter your water to make sure the water that you drink is clean. Give your liver a few days off from alcohol each week. let it recover, let it regenerate and recover. And you might want to just go in your garden or go down the local park where it's clean and pick a few dandelion leaves. Those are great in a salad. They really help your liver function better. Milk thistle is another great. You can get those in capsules. There's lots of good health food suppliers for milk thistle, and that helps your liver. Great for increasing the speed at which you get over a hangover as well. So it's always good to have it in the house. And investigate dandelion root coffee to replace Arabica coffee, at least some of your cups each day. It's caffeine free, and you're giving your liver a boost. You're giving your liver a leg up to help you. I need to check with Niall how much longer I've got to speak. Where is he right now? How long? Right, so the last thing I want to talk about is 10 things that belong in everybody's medicine cabinet. And I will bring these round and people can photograph them so you've got a record of what I've written here. 10 things that belong in everybody's medicine cabinet. Heparin Sulf 30 is a really good homeopathic antibiotic, general, easy to use. Kali Phos tissue salt. If you get toothache, I'm not talking about gum problems where oil of cloves is great, but toothache, Kali Phos tissue salt should be in everybody's bathroom cabinet. It reverses the circulation in the tooth. Sugar makes things absorb into the tooth. Kali Phos reverses it, so it helps with pain. And you actually chew on the tablets, and that will drive that Kali Phos, that soothing phosphorus material into the tooth and soothe the pain if you get toothache. During the lockdown period, when we couldn't get into a dentist, that was absolute misery. I mean, I heard of people pulling their own teeth out with pliers because it was so horrible. We should be avoiding sugar so we don't get tooth problems, and then using Kali Phos. DMSO, absolute genius stuff. I have an 84-year-old neighbour. I made her a DMSO gel with aloe vera gel, 70% DMSO gel, some oil of wintergreen and some oil of frankincense. And she couldn't believe how much easier she was walking around within literally 2 minutes. It's that quick and that effective. And it heals. It's an anti-inflammatory as well as being an analgesic. So it heals as well as reduces pain. Colloidal silver, everybody should have that in the bathroom cabinet. Raw honey, bee propolis tincture. If you get a sore throat or the kids get tonsillitis, stick that down the back of their throat and the pain is gone. You kick them off to school. Apis mel, anaphylaxis for bee stings, and rescue remedy I'm sure you've all got. I better stop there because Niall's hovering and looking at me as if I'm over speaking. I'm going to be here for the rest of the time, so if you want to come up and ask me questions on an individual basis, I'm really happy to do that too. I have a website. It's longevityworks.com, longevityworks.com. I've got a book, a health empowerment manual for women, which is on sale at £10 a copy over on the table if anybody wants one. And I'll be coming round with this handout that's got my website at the bottom of it as well.